want to have that I actually don't have. I would have had a little sandwich board sign strapped over my shoulder with a little bell. And I'd be marching up and down the aisle saying the end is nigh. And I might even have a play out too. Because that's the contradiction, right? If the end is coming, then what's the point? That's what we hear, right? We hear of the apocalypse. We hear of Apocalypse Now, the movie, which is about war. We hear about how it's the apocalypse because so-and-so is in the White House, right? And that could be, well, this President Trump is bringing a golden new age and people hate him and he's withstanding and persevering. Or it could be, I really don't like this guy, we gotta get him out of there, the end of the world is upon us, right? I mean, everybody says the same thing, right? The funny thing is they said it last time too. And the last time, and the time before, right? And I have my good Christian siblings approaching me and talking about, have you seen in Scripture that there's war, and there's famine, there's insurrection, and death is upon us. And it's like this big global look, right? Is to say, these are the signs of the end times. And certainly then, this is it. So, prepare yourselves, and that is cancel your life insurance plans, cash in your retirement funds because it's happening, right? I mean, and nobody does that, like Kanye West, I guess, is playing, at Joel Osteen's church this weekend, right? It's like, I wonder what he's talking about this morning. I'm sure. What's that?
The gospel.
Yeah, with a bigger plate than we have, I'm sure, accompany that. And the point being is that when we make up the end to be this large-scale thing, it could even be like climate change, right? The end is coming, 2050, 2100, shortly thereafter, we're going to have no coasts, or, this is nonsense. I mean, it doesn't matter. The point is that I get a call every day about the apocalypse. Every day. It just looks different for different people. And I bet each one of you has already lived through it. And what I mean is, Pastor, I'm getting evicted tomorrow, I don't know where to go, it's cold outside. For that person, it's the end of the world. My relationship's not working anymore, we're getting divorced. That's the end of the world. My company can't afford to keep me out anymore, so I got let go. That's the end. This week, even with my mom in the hospital, I'm like, what are we going to do without my mom? God forbid. I mean, then obviously she's home and getting better, but you think these things and you prepare. What am I going to do? What am I going to tell the kids? What's my dad going to do? All he does is drive around from place to place. I mean, like you just wonder all this stuff. And the end is there, and it's upon you. If you've ever suffered through an illness, it could be, the doctor calling you saying that the test results were what we wanted. We've got to make different plans. And what that means is it's nothing short of reorienting your whole self to a different reality. How do I live without this person? How am I going to make without this job? Where am I going to live? What's life like on the other side of this diagnosis? These are all apocalypses. And what I mean by that is to say that we go from point A to point B to point C thinking everything's going to be fun. It's all going to turn out all right. And then it doesn't. And when it doesn't, that's the common theme of humanity. That's the thing that binds us together. And it's not so much like, the rosy-cheeked, picket fence, it's that life is hard. And it's hard for everyone. And we don't talk about it enough. Not the world is ending, oh my God, kind of way, but this is what life is. And my bearing this alone isolates me from people who go through the same experience. People in this room. Most of the time when we talk about, addiction, right? You have anonymous groups. Why? Because there's a stigma associated with it. We talk about mental health. Many people bear the burdens of mental illness alone. Why? Because there's a stigma associated with it. Some people live their whole lives not telling anybody who they love. Why? Because there's a stigma associated. What about when you lose your job? job? Do you go run around the neighborhood? Guess what? I lost my job today. I got so much free time. No. Or even illness yourself. Like something that you have no control over. And this body, it does what it does, right? A lot of times we bear our own illnesses in private. Amplifying the grief. Amplifying the sorrow. And we spend a lot of time worrying about these things. You know, Jesus today uses the language of a judge and a trial, and then we drag before kings and governors and others. But I hear that oftentimes as like, that's me. I'm the judge. I'm the jury. And I'm going to convict myself. And then I'm going to convict everybody else because I can't deal with what I am, right? Spend time worrying. I listened to a woman who had received a diagnosis where they said she would not survive. And it was on a podcast. I was actually talking about the lectionary this week. And she struggled with this, and then they said, well, you may survive, but you may not like the person you are after this, because your life's going to be dramatically different. So she's praying, and she had small children, husband, and it turns out that she made it through okay. You know, by the grace of God, right? And she survives. And so they were talking to her, and like, how do you live now? What is your life like now that you were like walking in apocalypse, right? And worrying about it. And worrying about the future of your kids. Like, they're like your kids, they're going away camping without you this weekend. You know, just feel like you worry about the bears. You worry about the counselors. You worry about the food, the weather. And this is what the woman said. It's beautiful. She says, if I spend all my life worrying, then I'll never smell my daughter's hair. Mm-hmm. And so rather than worrying, I give her a hug. And I spend time with her. Isn't that the essence? Like, I mean, who worries, right? Anyone here? I'm very good at worrying. You know, but what about if you actually just spend time living and giving thanks to God for it? I mean, Jesus says, you know, He's going to give us the words. And these words cannot be overcome by your opponents. He's going to give us the life. He's going to give us the strength. He's going to give us the love, the faith, the hope, the salvation. Now. You know, and like, just like we do with the apocalypse, we make it out to be the end of the world when it's the end of my world. Really, that I'm worried about, right? Well, that's, you know, when we talk about God, we think of like the universe, you know, which new indications show that it's circular. You know, it's a sphere. Interesting. Wow. But anyway, but the point being that God is in those little moments. And not in the like sort of cheeky, like, you know, God is everywhere kind of way. I'm saying God, the God of the universe, is in the smell of your daughter's hair. And the joy that it brings you to be in that moment with that person, that is God. Or your loved ones, or your family, or your friends, or your run, or your exercise, or your music. It's a profoundly spiritual being. I mean, all we are is spirit. Like I say it every week at the confession, God holds us with every breath. God is always there, and God is always giving us the words, and the direction, and the power. You know, the funny thing about the apocalypse can be answered by one question, and how we answer this answer the apocalypse. When was Jesus? When was Jesus? Now. When was God? Always. And so the end cannot be different than what happens on the cross. It just can't be. The Christ who opened himself to all, raised his arm, opened his arms wide for the whole world, has to be the same Jesus in the apocalypse. Otherwise, we have a big theological problem. That means that the Jesus on the cross and the Jesus that comes at the end are different, and that's a big problem. That can't be. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. The apocalypse isn't in the future, it's now. Jesus Christ wasn't in the past, Jesus is now. God's forgiveness and God's love and God's unending holding of us is not in the past, it's not in the future, it's now. That's the beauty of church. It's the beauty of sacraments, of communion and baptism. It's that it's all that God can convey to us are set right there. Here. Now. The sound of it is, right? Which one do you quiet? But God is now, the apocalypse is now, and I say so what? Because what God says is true. I am with